Okay, so now we are going to learn how to deal with the pedestrian crossings. Okay, pedestrian crossing, we have two different basic pedestrian crossing. We have a uncontrolled zebra crossing and we have a controlled. Okay, we start with the controlled pedestrian crossing. What is very important, our lesson will be including the planning, why is very important, you will see very soon. So you're coming from here, okay, and you're observing. So what is very important, we're not just looking, as we said, front of the car, we're looking above the paper and we're scanning all information. Okay, so we're not just responding what's happening in below front of the car. We need to look well ahead, because if you're planning, you can't be surprised, because you'll be ready for all kind of situation. So we're approaching from here, and you see a pedestrian walking towards and turn to the left and stop in here. Okay, what you're anticipating, the pedestrian intend to cross. So in this case, because it's a control with the traffic light, the pedestrian probably press the button, and once you get an amber, and then you stop in here. Okay, so very important, if you see the pedestrian is approaching, you have to be cover the brake pedal, not giving a gas, because some pedestrian traffic lights gives you immediately amber if the pedestrian press the button. Some of them doesn't. It depends, some pedestrian crossing traffic light has a sensor on the top, some of them hasn't got it. You will learn it from your highway code, not necessary to know on your practical test the name. We have puffin, pelican, toucan, and etc. etc. It's very important. Don't think if the pedestrian press the button, you have plenty of time, because we can't see further ahead what type of crossing we've got. We just can see there is a pedestrian, so we're anticipating an amber. Okay, so pedestrian press the button, we get an amber, and we stop in here. And the pedestrian start to crossing. Okay, and the pedestrian is gone, and there is two ways how you can get a traffic sign. So normally you get a steady amber with a steady red. Okay, in this case you must wait up to the green one, until the green, as a normal traffic line, you know, steady amber, steady red, steady amber together, it says you be ready to go, and if you get a green, you can go. Okay, the other type of the pedestrian crossing has, after the steady red, only flashing amber it is on. It means if the pedestrian completed their turn, and if it's flashing amber, you don't need to wait for the green. So it says if the pedestrian already gone, you can go. It's very important, if the pedestrian is crossing in here and it's flashing amber, you have to wait until the pedestrian reach the other side. Okay, so that's what we're going to practice on the high street of Hamburg. Also, what is very important, if you're approaching from here, okay, and you would have, for instance, a massive lorry or a bus waiting in here. What you can anticipate, you could think that behind the lorry there is a pedestrian already pressed the button and waiting for cross, so you could get immediately a number. So you need to think the all scenarios, what could happen behind this car. This is a part of anticipation, part of planning. Okay, so we have a controlled pedestrian crossing, we call it zebra crossing. Okay, the same, we are approaching from here. Okay, and what is very important, how we can realize there is a pedestrian crossing. If you look further ahead again, you will see black and white post, and on the top there's a flashing amber. Okay, and also you could have this warning sign as well. So you're looking well ahead, and you see the pedestrian walking towards in here, and it turns to cross. So you look for the body language. If the pedestrian turn, you have to stop. Okay, very important, because if the pedestrian is crossing towards, or going towards, it's not a problem. But if you see the pedestrian is approaching, you need to be ready to slow down, cover the brake pedal, rather than press the gas and, you know, quick going. So you're coming from here, the pedestrian approaches here. Okay, and in turn, and you stop in here. Okay, pedestrian is crossing, and you might think in here, well, the pedestrian already gone, so I could go, but not. You must wait until the pedestrian reached the pavement. Okay, so we have to wait. Doesn't matter If it's the pedestrian one, you have to wait. The same if the pedestrian is approaching from the right, and you would see, because we have to scan both sides of the road, so we're looking both pavement. You see, okay, the pedestrian is here, intend to cross, and you stop, and you wait until the pedestrian is completed. Okay, very important. If you stop for a pedestrian and you see the pedestrian is hesitating a little bit, we never waving, so we never encouraging them, because what would happen? You're waiting in here, pedestrian is here, and you would encourage the pedestrian. Okay, carry on, I stopped for you. The car from here doesn't bother about the pedestrian. A pedestrian trusting you, they says, okay, this lovely Joe said to me, I can go. The pedestrian doesn't look to the left. This car would hit the pedestrian in here. The pedestrian would blame to you, because you took the responsibility to tell the pedestrian, you can go. So stop clearly, hands on steering wheel. If the pedestrian go, then go. If not, go, then you don't need to do any action. So, you know, you have to wait for the pedestrian make an own decision. Okay, so you can get eye contact with the pedestrian. You can get a little movement with your head, but you don't need to encourage them to carry on, because you don't need to be charged for the whole situation. Okay, very important. There's a little differences. You're approaching from here. There's a pedestrian, and then the pedestrian is reached this little island. This little island separates the crossing, the road. So in this case, it's two separate crossing. So if the pedestrian reached that island, you can go.
I see.
Because this one is another story. Okay, so very important. If the pedestrian is safe in the island, it says they finished this cross, you can go. Okay. However, if the pedestrian coming from this side, and you see approaching in here, this is the point where you start to cross your road. So you better to stop if the pedestrian coming to the right, from the right.
Yeah, I see.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, very good one. So now we are going to drive on the high street of Hamburg. Okay, what we are going to do? You will drive, and I will comment to your driving, and I'm going to tell you what I take into the account to make a decision.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to make a couple of circles, going up and down on the